Oh, hi, Annie. That was me on the mouth organ. I was just playing the mouth organ a little bit while the dogs are outside. I thought I'd make a tape here and let you know how I entertain myself. Then I had to let the dogs in, so that's the end of the mouth organ. Well, it wasn't very good anyway. So now I'm just going to play a little bit on the guitar, which that won't be too good either. But this is my entertainment. When I come to the river, I'm leaning on faith. When the last winds of sorrow have gone, there'll be somebody waiting to show me the way. I won't have to cross Jordan alone. I won't have to cross Jordan alone. Jesus died all my sins to atone. When the darkness I see, He'll be waiting for me. I won't have to cross Jordan alone. Jesus came near the cross, there a precious fountain. On Calvary's mountain, in the cross, my glory ever, till my raptured soul shall find rest beyond the river. Love, like a woman at the well, I was seeking for things this world can't satisfy. And then I heard my Savior speaking, draw from my well that never shall run dry. Oh, fill my cup, Lord, I lift it up, Lord, come and quench this thirsting in my soul. Bread of heaven, feed me till I want no more. I hear the rolling thunder, I pause throughout the universe display. Then sings my song, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sing my song, my Savior. My Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Don't you know I'd slough on that one? Oh well. I'd rather have Jesus than silver gold. I'd rather be his than have riches untold. I'd rather have Jesus than anything this whole world affords today. Or to be the queen of the last domain and live in sin's way. I'd rather have Jesus than anything this world affords today. Or G, or G, no wait. Okay. There is a name I love so well. I love to sing its words. It sounds like music to my ear. The greatest name on earth. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Because his keepers love me. Oh, my brother, do you know the Savior who is wondrous, kind, and true? He's the rock of your salvation. There's honey in the rock for you. Yes, there's honey in the rock, my brother. There's honey in the rock for you. Leave your sins for the blood to cover. There's honey in the rock for you. How'd you like that one? Some glad some glad morning when this life is o'er, I'll fly away to that land on God's celestial shore. I'll fly will understand it all by and by. If I walk in the pathway of duty, and I rest at the close of the day, then I know there are joys that await me when I've gone the last mile of the way. When I've gone the last mile of the way, and I rest at the close of the day, then I'll see the great King in his beauty. When I've gone the last mile of the way. He left the splendor of heaven, knowing his destiny was the lonely hill of Golgotha, there to lay down his life for me. If that isn't love, then the oceans are dry. There's no stars in the sky, and the swallow can't fly. engineer that's brave. We must make the run successful from the cradle to the grave. Watch the curves, the hills, the tunnels. Do your duty, never fail. Keep your hand upon the throttle and your eye upon the rail. Blessed Savior, thou wilt guide us.
I have a message for you. A very sad message. My subject for this evening will be Little Bo Peep. It says here, Little Bo Peep, who was a little girl, has lost her sheep and doesn't know where to find her. Now that's reasonable, isn't it? It's reasonable to assume if little Bo Peep had lost her sheep, it's only natural that she wouldn't know where to find her. That basically is reasonable, but leave them alone. Now that overwhelms me. Completely overwhelms me. The man said she lost her sheep. Turns right around and boldly states she doesn't know where to find them. And then has the stupid audacity to say, leave them alone. Now, think for a moment, think. If the sheep were lost and you couldn't find them, you'd have to leave them alone, wouldn't you? So leave them alone. Leave them alone. It's in the book. Leave them alone. And they being the sheep, they will come home. Oh, yes, they'll come home. Oh, there'll be a brighter day tomorrow. They will come home. It's in the book. They will come home. A wagon, a tail. Pray tell me, what else could they wag? They will come home, a wagon, a tail. Behind them. Behind them. Did we think they'd wag them in front? Of course, they might have come home in reverse. They could have done that, I really don't know. But nonetheless, it's in the book. Now, if you will, kindly pick up your books and turn to page 222. We'll ask you all to sing. You'll find your books on the backs of your seats. Are we ready? Everyone, 222, let's really enjoy ourselves. Let's live it up all together. You remember Grandma's Lysol, good for everything in the home. And the secret was in the scrubbing. It wouldn't suds and couldn't foam. Then let us all sing right out of Grandma's Lysol. Use for everything. Everything on the plates, the pots and kettles, the dirty dishes, and for your hands, and for your face, all for your hands. Shall we now sing the second verse? Let's fill it with a great exuberance. Let's live it up. It's not raining inside tonight. Everyone, let's have a happy time. Are we ready? All together. The second verse. Little Herman and Brother Thurman had an aversion to washing their ears. Grandma scrubbed them with the Lysol, and they haven't heard a word in years. Then let us all sing right out of Grandma's Lysol. Sing all out, all over the place, the pots and kettles, the dirty dishes, and also hands, and also hands. Well, let's sing what's left of the last verse. Let's have a happy time, everyone. The last verse all together. Everyone. Thank you kindly. Mrs. O'Malley, out in the valley, suffered from ulcers, I understand. She swallowed a cake of Grandma's Lysol, has the cleanest ulcers in the land. They let us sing right out of here. Oh, Grandma Lysol, sing right out over the lane. The watching and the birds, oh, dirty dishes and the hand.
Oh, I'm thinking tonight of my blue eyes, who is sailing afar o'er the sea. Oh, I'm thinking tonight of her only, and I wonder if she ever thinks of me. When the cold, cold shadows fall around me, won't you come, love, and shed just one tear? And say to the strangers around you, 'tis a heart you have broken lies here. I'm thinking tonight of my blue eyes. Sail afar o'er the I'm thinking tonight of her only and I wonder if she ever thinks of me.
Okay, here's Uncle Bobby's song about the moose. A big moose was walking through the wilderness just the other day. He met a fox, and this is what I heard him say. He said, "Mr. Fox, how come you're not as big as me?" The fox looked up at the moose. He said, "I don't know," tucked his tail between his legs and slowly walked away. Yeah. Now this big bull moose was walking through the tall pines the other day. He met a bobcat, and this is what I heard him say. He says, "Mr. Bobcat, how come you're not as big as me?" That bobcat looked up at the moose. He says, "I don't know, Mr. Moose," lowered his head down to the ground, and he slowly walked away. Now this big bull moose was walking through the woods the other day, and he met a timber wolf, and this is what I heard him say. He said, "Mr. Wolf, how come you're not as big as me?" The wolf looked up at the moose. He says, "I don't know, Mr. Moose." He tucked his tail between his legs and he slowly walked away. Yeah. Now this big moose was walking through the wilderness the other day. He met a little mouse with pink eyes and a runny nose, and this is what I heard him say. He said, "Mr. Mouse, how come you're not as big as me?" The little mouse looked up at the moose. He sniffed his little nose and said, "I've been sick. Yeah, 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 yeah." Okay, let's sing that song about my neighbor one more time. Mr. Mackey, you know Donald the farmer? Yeah. Old Donald Mackey had a farm with an E-I-E-I-O. And on this farm he had a gunna, E-I-E-I-O. There was a muna muna here, a muna muna there. Here a gunna, there a muna, everywhere a gunna muna. Old Donald Mackey had a farm with an E-I-E-I-O. Hoi, 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 hoi. Hoi, hoi, hoi. Hoi, 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 hoi. Hoi, hoi, hoi. Yeah, old Donald Mackey had a farm with an E-I-E-I-O. And on this farm was a left madu and an E-I-E-I-O. There was a wasika here, a girnubima there. Here a klopsu, there a fili, everywhere a voida, muna muna here and a muna muna there. Here a gunna, there a muna, everywhere a gunna muna. Old Donald Mackey had a farm with an E-I-E-I-O. Hoi, 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 hoi. Hoi, hoi, hoi. Hoi, 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 hoi. Hoi, hoi, hoi. Now old Donald Mackey had a farm with an E-I-E-I-O. And on this farm was an M and a do and an E-I-E-I-O. There was a yerredy here and a blah there and a hola hillies and everywhere. A wasika here, there was a girnubima there. Here a klopsu, there a fili, everywhere. A voida, muna muna here and a muna muna there. Here a gunna, there a muna, everywhere. A whoo. Whew, the heck with the rest of the song. I'm tired. Yeah. And an E-I-E-I-O. Well, this is what we like to call the Raha song. That's where my Raha goes to buy my miniature clothes. I buy her everything to keep her in style. She's worth her weight in gold, my big fat missus. Hey boy, God, that's where my Raha goes. She's got a pair of hips, just like two battleships. I buy her clothes at a government surplus store. She wears silk underwear, I wear my last year's trapdoor pair. Hey boy, God, that's where my Raha goes. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's where my Raha goes to buy my miniature clothes. I buy her everything to keep her in style. She's worth her weight in gold, my big fat missus. Hey boy, God, that's where my Raha goes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's where my Raha goes to buy my miniature clothes. I buy her everything to keep her in style. She wears those roll-down hose, I even bought her those. Hey boy, God, that's where my Raha goes. Yeah, yeah. Hey boy, God, that's where my Raha goes. Yeah. Hey boy, God, how about loaning me a couple of bucks till payday, huh? Well, here's one that I've enjoyed since I was a little boy. Han metsen simiksessa pian villi ruusunen. Sen salon sydämessä on olla rauhainen. Ei sinne yltä myrskysät, sen korpikuuset piirittää. Ja aivan sattumalta sen ruusun kohtasin. Kesäisen päivän helle, vaan häntä rakastat. Ei itse tietä raukkaa, kelle hän kukoistaa. Mut piikioksistaan se käy, hän villi ruusun nimen sai. Se olet villi ruusunen, ruusuista kaunein. Kesäisen saaten jälkin kauniimen kukoistaa. Oi minkä vären välkin tuo kukka silloin saa. Mä silloin rienen luoksisen ja lähtien se suutelen. Se ollet villi ruusunen, ruusuista kaunein, ruusuista kaunein. Okay, here's that song that made me fat. It sold so many records. Hey, when I'm feeling booty high, from the gully I stagger to my shack in the swamp by the highway, known as number 7. And when this kabaka closes tight, I do the only thing that's right. I stagger to my shack in the swamp by the highway, known as number 7. Now if you ever come and visit, there's one thing you will see. There's 15 blonde-headed Finnish kids and they look exactly like me. Feed them kalamojakka, sometimes grease-gruniburroa, in my shack in the swamp by the highway that is known as number 7. Now I wrote this song many years ago, and highway number 7 was two ruts in the snow with a hi-dilly-di-do, hi-dilly-di-do, hi-dilly-di-do-day. Now I ain't got a voice like Bing Crosby, I know, but then he ain't got a shack like the Bobby Arrow. It's hi-dilly-di-do, hi-dilly-di-do, hi-dilly-di-do-day. It's a one-room shanty with a trail in the back leading to the resting rooms. And there's a sauna there where I change underwear every tune. Now my meanie and my mother-in-law, you'll see, beating the dickens out of me in my shack in the swamp by the highway that is known as number 7. Not the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the highway number 7, yo, yo, yo. Okay, let's put another couple of 2-3 minutes needle scratching, going rounding and rounding. I was born in Minnesota where the tall pines grow. Lived my life in the land of the snow. Raised on the Susies and the Ketus, it's true. And I learned how to chippo when I was only 2. It's the Bobby Arrow, king of the great Nordwoods. Yeah, 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 Bobby Arrow, king of the great Nordwoods. Now people ask me why I talk this way. Are you really Finnish, Bobby, is what they say. To tell you the truth, I talk this way because I'm not Finnish, but my English teacher was. It's the Bobby Arrow, king of the great Nordwoods. Yeah, 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 Bobby Arrow, king of the great Nordwoods. Now...
Way down in the valley, by a cabin door, sits an old man with his fiddle, playing this tune o'er and o'er. When old Fiddler Joe is playing, all the birds begin to sing. When old Fiddler Joe starts playing, all the hills with echoes ring. Way down in the valley, to his cabin go, all the youth and all the elders, just to hear old Fiddler Joe. All the flowers start to dancing, for he drives away all care. When old Fiddler Joe is playing, all the world is dancing there. Just the same old tune a-playing, all the hills and valleys know. When old Fiddler Joe is playing, how the happy hours go. Silence in the valley, silence in the hill, for the fiddle now is silent and the oboe it is still. Poor old Joe now has left us on a far-off hill to stray, and old Fiddler Joe's in heaven where the angels hear him play. The place where I worship is the wide open spaces built by the hand of the Lord, where the trees of the forest are like pipes of an organ, and the breeze plays an the stars are the candles, and they light up the mountains. Mountains are altars of God. Yes, the place where I worship is the wide open spaces where the sun warms the peaceful song. There's a carpet of green and a sky blue roof above. I'm welcome there alone or with the ones I love. In your heart, take a good look. If you follow the good book, you're sure to find your reward. Yes, the place where I worship is the wide open spaces built by the hand of the Lord. Yes, the place where I worship is the wide open spaces built by the hand of the Lord. And He has given it to you and to me for all the world to see. There are no doors, certainly no iron curtains, and all men are free. There in the air, like a joyous prayer, you can hear Him say, "This is your country. This is your home. Keep its splendor and guard its glory." It's a song of freedom, ringing from the valley to the hilltops. It never, never stops. And all the birds on the wing are like a choir. You can hear them sing, "You're free to worship here." All creeds, all religions are one before God. And as you rest beside a silver stream, there pours into your soul a feeling of peace and of quiet. And you give thanks to Him for making the eyes of your heart see the heritage He has given to you and to me. Yes, the place where I worship is the wide open spaces built by the hand of the Lord. of heartbreak and of strife. I travel north, I travel south, I travel east and west, just searching for a place to find contentment, peace, and rest. One day I met a man who spoke so wise and true. He said, "My son, I used to be a traveler just like you. I searched for rest and peace until my heart had grown so sore, until one day I sought a way I'd never searched before. Now," he said to me, "I fell upon my knees and asked the Lord above to guide my faltering steps to where I'd find sweet peace and love." Then he said, "I felt his presence near and knew I'd found at last just where to find sweet peace of mind. I'd found the traveler's rest." Then I asked him, where was traveler's rest? And that is where I'd start. He said, "I'll tell you, yes, I'll tell you where it is. You'll find it in your heart. The only road that leads to it is through the Master's love. The only way to get there is through help from him above." He said, "You're on the lost highway that leads you to nowhere. Just tell him of your burdened heart and you may find rest right here. Until you're in the Master's care, you'll always drift astray, unless he guides your every step and leads you all the way." I listened to those words he spoke, and suddenly I knew this was the only way for me. His words, they rang so true. And now I'm traveling down that road, the road he said was best, for weary travelers who are tired and seeks the traveler's rest. Until we meet again,
I'll pray for you, you pray for me, until we meet again.
until we meet again,
I'll think of you, you think of me, until we meet again. The Lord up in heaven will keep us together, whether it's rainy or sunshiny weather. So I'll pray for you, you pray for me, until we meet again. Isn't it wonderful that the Lord wants us to pray one for another? You know, I just love to pray for people. And I love to know that people are praying for me too. Prayer changes things.